was sitting on a porch, यानी वो जो जहाँ पे बैठे वहाँ पे बैठे बाबा के साथ, और वहाँ का उसको दर्शन हुआ.
Sam, I hear a lot of disturbance. Can you ask people to turn off their mics, please?
हाँ जी, प्लीज राकेश, सबको म्यूट कर दे प्लीज. Sorry about that. Could feel sit on the hay with Baba beside me. Now, this is such a beautiful experience, And I feel कि ये मेरे खुद की सोच है कि जब हम मोस्ट सिंसियरली किसी चीज पे ध्यान देते हैं तो उसका रिजल्ट तुरंत immediately Baba gives to us. This is one of the feedbacks which there were many other feedbacks, but this is one of the nicest ones, so I read it out. ठीक है? Now, very quickly, I know all of you must be dying to listen to Jimmy, or you all must be saying in your minds कि ये लल्लू क्यों इतना बड़बड़ कर रहा है, but give me 5 more minutes and then I'll be off and you'll be with Jimmy Khan. This is a practice कि भाई हर महीने की beginning में we read out the line this time is the heart is the treasure house of spiritual wisdom. अचानक से मेरे को एक और चीज याद आ गई, वो ये कि भाई हम लोग जो भी कुछ यहाँ पे बोलते हैं तो these are the views expressed by individuals. यानी अगर मैं बोलता हूँ तो ये मेरे बाबा के जो भी कुछ मैसेजेस है उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन मेरे हिसाब से है. उसमें जिमी जो बोलता है वो जिमी के हिसाब से है, साइरस खम्बाटा. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज के कोई हमको ये ना समझे कि भाई हम लोग कोई बहुत बड़े ज्ञानी है एंड वी डिस्कस एंड डिसाइफर एंड वो सब बातें बाबा ही जान ले. तो आई जस्ट ब्रीफली रीड थ्रू दिस. द हार्ट इज द ट्रेजर हाउस ऑफ स्पिरिचुअल विजडम. Baba has always given importance to the heart more than the mind. Excuse me. The mind is the treasure house of learning, but the heart is the treasure house of spiritual wisdom. Look at Baba's wordings. Spiritual wisdom is not in the bheja, it is in the heart. The so-called conflict between religion and science arises only when there is no appreciation of the relative importance of the two types of knowledge. It is futile to try to glean knowledge of true values by exercise of mind alone. Mind cannot tell you which things are worth having. It can only tell you how to achieve the ends accepted from non-intellectual sources. In short, Baba has given more importance to the heart. And that suits people like me who are idiots, who are not very good with their bheja. It suits me fine कि भाई ज़्यादा मगजमारी नहीं करने का, चुपचाप जो दिल का रास्ता है वो लेके चलते रहो. In most persons, the mind accepts ends from the promptings of wants. But this means denial of the life of the spirit. Only when the mind accepts its ends and values from the deepest prompting of the heart does it contribute to the life of the spirit. Thus, mind has to work in cooperation with the heart. Factual knowledge has to be subordinated to intuitive perceptions. The heart has to be allowed full freedom in determining the ends of life without any interference from the mind. The mind has a place in practical life, but its role begins after the heart has had its say. I'll repeat this line. The mind has a place in practical life, but its role begins after the heart has had its say. This is how important the heart is. Between the two extremes of a life harassed by wants and a life which is completely free from wants, it is possible to arrive at a mode of practical life in which there is harmony between the mind and the heart. When there is such harmony, the mind does not dictate the ends of life, but only helps to realize. Hello? Sorry? When there is harmony, the mind does not dictate the ends of life, but only helps to realize those ends which are given by the heart. It does not lay down any conditions to be fulfilled before any utterance of the heart is adopted for translation into practical life. In other words, it surrenders its role of judge, which it is accustomed to play in its intellectual queries concerning the nature of the universe, and accepts unquestioningly the dictates of the heart. तार मेहर बाबा की जय। दोस्तों, मेहर बाबा जिसे हम खुदा मानते हैं, उन्होंने हमेशा हृदय को इंपॉर्टेंस दिया है और जो भी संत कहो, महात्मा कहो, परफेक्ट मास्टर्स कहो, ये सभी लोगों ने जो भी रास्ता दिखाया है उसमें एक ही चीज, the biggest importance that this avatar of this age has played is love for God. Simple as that. No jada magajmari, no what if this is like this and that is like that and this and that and blah 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 blah. Kuch nahi. It reminds me of a Kabir Doha from Sant Kabir, which I will say it briefly and then hand over to Jimmy Khan. Kabir says, Puran ko paad nahi, there is no end to Purans. Veda ko ant nahi, there is no end to Vedas, philosophies, you know. Vani apar hai, kahan chitt dijiye. Vani apar hai means idiots like me talking, ye waise bolta hai, usne aise bola, usne aise bola. Kahan chitt dijiye? Who will you listen to? लाखों की एक बात, करोड़ की कहूं मैं. Even in those days, Kabir ji knew the value of crores, today's value. लाखों की एक बात, करोड़ की कहूं मैं, ये सभी के सार रूप राम नाम लीजिए. What he's trying to say is, ये मगजमारी ज्यादा मत करो, ईश्वर को हमेशा याद करो. And there is no better way of remembering God through this kind of, इसको जो कहते हैं ना, this is सहज, very simple and easy form of meditating on the Lord. नीरज जसावाला को एक दिन मैंने ऐसे ही ये पूछा था कि भाई हम लोग के सेंटर पे ऐसे हम करते हैं, what do you think? He said that's very good, because that way for 1 hour at least you will be concentrating on the Lord, and that is how it works. अभी जैसे Mehrabad and Mehrazad is for India and Baba's importance, in the same way, similarly, Myrtle Beach is an area in United States, where Baba established his home in the States, in the United States. And I would like Jimmy Khan to come over now. एक चीज याद रखना, ये जो आज जिमी का टॉक होगा, ये 2 पार्ट्स में होगी. इट विल बी इन 2 पार्ट्स. पार्ट 1 आज करेंगे, फिर द सेकंड पार्ट विल बी एक्सटेंडेड ओवर in the next meeting, क्योंकि उसमें he wants to take his own time and show audio visual कुछ slides वगैरह जो भी कुछ है. So enjoy और just get closer to Baba. That's all I can say. Jai Baba. Jimmy, take over now. All yours.
Jai Jai Baba. Thank you for joining. Before I start, I need to make a correction in the sense, last Thursday I said that the new life started in 1948. I do not know how I could ever have said this, but Cyrus corrected me saying that, Jimmy, you were wrong, you slipped. It was in 1949. So I stand corrected because it has gone on record. So I stand corrected, it started in 1949. Okay, we come to today's subject. Today's subject being the Mayor's Spiritual Center at Myrtle Beach. Normally we Indians say Myrtle Beach Center, but it is not known as Myrtle Beach Center. It is known as Mayor's Spiritual Center at Myrtle Beach in South Carolina. Now, before we go to the US, let me take you to Upper Mehrabad at Gadi. Behind Baba's Gadi at Upper Mehrabad is a room called the East Room. And in this East Room, for many number of years, Mera, Mani, and Naja stayed for a number of years. But on the first floor on the right-hand side, above the museum, is where the Western ladies stayed. And the two of them were Elizabeth Patterson and Princess Norina Mechapet. So in 1941, Baba called these two ladies, and Baba told these two ladies that, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go back to the US and establish a home for me, establish a center for me. And it is said that Elizabeth was, I presume she must have been a very haughty woman, and she was not used to taking orders. She was used to giving orders, but when she came to Baba, she was one of those Haji Baba. So she said, yes, Baba, we'll go, whatever you say. And Baba gave 5 conditions to be followed. When?
Sorry, Jimmy. Please, जरा थोड़ा हिंदी में भी जरा please, if you can sprinkle a little bit of Hindi.
Well, let me.
The request.
Yeah, let me try. So as last Thursday, as I told you, when Baba wanted to move from Mehrabad to Mehrezad, he has given some conditions to his arrangement walas as to what kind of land they should be looking for. Similarly, for his home in the West, in the US, Baba told Elizabeth and Norina that you need to look for this place. And he spelled out those kind of conditions, whatever, or specifications. One of them, that it should be a fertile land, it should be a virgin land, I beg your pardon. It should be a virgin land in the sense that nothing should have been built on it before. Just like a forest, something like a forest, that is why it's called virgin land. Nothing should have been built before. Then he said it should be a tillable land. I do not know exactly what Baba meant by tillable land, but Baba did specify that it should be a place which I reckon as a large place. He used it as a self-sustaining for my lovers, where they can come and contemplate and rest and meditate on me, and they can know more of me. It should be a self-sustainable unit. That is what Baba spelled out. Then he said that it should have ample water. I repeat, he said it should have ample water. Baba did not use the words like lake or seaside. He just said there should be ample water. He also said that there should be an equitable climate. For those who have been to US, you will appreciate and you will understand that a large chunk of US is very harsh weather-wise. It is either very hot, sultry, humid, and in winter it can be very unbearable. It can be freezing. So knowing that, and like Mehrabad as it was, Baba said, and I want to look for a place which is equitable in climate. In other words, in simple language, a pleasant place to stay. And these four are the geographical features that Baba spelled out. And the last one, the fifth one was that it should come from the heart. We'll come to that a little later. So with this in hand, with this in mind, Elizabeth and Norina, they left for United States in 1941. From 41 to 1943, late 43, almost for 3 years, they have been touring the US, all over the US, mainly in California, because California happens to be a very large state, but frankly, it's a very dry state. We won't go into that. So they go all over the place. For 3 years, they have been looking for a place. They did see very many places, but not a single place, that kind of satisfied all these four conditions, geographical conditions. So they were kind of harassed, and in 43, they go to South Carolina, Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is a town. And there, Elizabeth meets her father. The father's name was Simon Chaplin. Now, Simon Chaplin had met Baba when Baba had visited the US in the early days. So Simon had seen Meher Baba. And Simon was happy in one sense that his daughter Elizabeth was on the right path. She was on the right line. She was spiritually oriented. She had a master in the US. So he was happy with the way she was going. To give you a background about Elizabeth, she was into the finance. Her husband was stockbroker. Elizabeth herself was dealing in stocks. So she was a smart lady. But having said that, she had veered herself to spirituality. She had gone to India and spent time with Baba at Mehrabad, at Nasik. The Western women had lived for quite some time at Nasik as well. So the father was happy. When she meets father and says that I've come here to US for such and such reason, and I've been looking for a place for last 3 years. So Simon tells the daughter that why don't you go to Myrtle Beach place and why don't you have a look at it? Now, Elizabeth recollected that years earlier, she had been to this place that the father was meaning, and she said, okay, we'll go and have a look at it. And the father also says that this plot of land has no use for me. Now, let me explain to you who Simon Chaplin was, what was he doing, why this place belonged to him, etc. Now, Simon Chaplin was a land developer, and he had a company. He had two partners. He had a company called Pilgrim. He had a company called Myrtle Beach Farm Company. Myrtle Beach Farm Company. And he had two partners, and they were into development of real estate, as we call it. They were developers. And he had not developed this particular place. Now, it is said that Myrtle Beach Farm Company, originally, they were the largest land developers of Myrtle Beach, the town. I'm meaning that town. They were the largest developer. They were well known as developer in Myrtle Beach. So why is it that a father who was into development, he wanted to develop this place as a resort, but he thought that this was not the right place to develop as a resort because he felt that this place has lakes, and because it has lakes and very wide spreading lakes, it would hamper people who would be wanting to go to the seaside, wanting to go to the beach. This would hinder them going to the beach. And therefore, he thought that this was not the right place for a resort. And therefore, he never developed it. I read it the other way around, that Baba had earmarked this place, this large place, for himself. He wanted this place to be his kind of a resort, to be his place, his home in the West, for his lovers in future, for posterity. So he kind of gave it in Simon's head. You will not touch this place. This is mine. This is my place. You will leave it alone for me. So in that sense, Simon left this place alone. So Elizabeth, Princess Norina, and they go with a man, an elderly gentleman, in his car to see the place. Now, this place, Myrtle Beach, the land we are talking about, can be accessed through the land that we presently go through, or you can access it through the beach. You can also go through the beach, only in those days, not now. Now we are in 1943. So this old man takes these two ladies in his car, and they go from the lakeside. They enter the place from the lakeside. Now let me tell you that this 500 acres was not the only place. It was a long, long stretch of land abutting the seaside. And let's call it, let's say there were A, B, C, D, E, F land masses. So they traverse through A, B, C, D, E, F. And at F is a place where today's the center is. So they go there, they have a look at this place. But after a while, maybe after an hour or so, this old man says that let's go back, it will get dark. Now, these two ladies, they didn't have a good look at this 500 acres. 500 acres is a large, large piece of land, and they wanted to see it very well. So anyway, they listened to this old man and they go back. But they said that we would like to come back and we would like to spend more time and have a deco at this place. So they tell this man that would like to have a trip once more. So the next time this old man says, I'm not coming, but I'm sending my son with you and he will go with you. So the young man takes these two ladies. He had a four-wheel drive. So he takes these two ladies from the land side, from the land. Now we got to imagine we are talking about 1943. And in 1943, this place was kind of muddy. There were tracks. I don't think it was a metal road. So in this four-wheel drive, they go to this place. They carry a picnic basket with them to make a picnic out of it and spend a lot of time, maybe the whole day. So these two ladies and this young man, they scout this whole land, maybe from morning till afternoon, evening. And they found that this is the place effectively Baba was meaning. And Manianti says that what Baba did was, he had this place in mind already. Being the avatar, being the all-knowing, he knew that this is going to be my place. So what he did was, he was playing treasure hunt with these two ladies. He knew the place. He knew where these ladies are eventually zeroing in on. So he gave these 4 or 5 clues of treasure hunt, and he sent them on a wild goose chase. So when these ladies realize that this is the place that we are looking to, they go to the father, Simon, and Elizabeth says, Dad, this is the place I've been looking for. We have been looking for. And I'm sure this is the place that Baba means, because it satisfies all the 4 conditions. And the father says, okay, have it. The father says, okay, have it. But this land still belongs to the company. It doesn't belong to him. The whole property belonged to the company where he was one of the partners. So he does say yes to her, but he has yet to take permission, okay, from the other two partners. So he approaches the two partners. He must have told Elizabeth to wait a while, let me check with my partners. So he goes to his partners and explains to the partners that I would like this piece of land to gift it to my daughter. I rather give it to her now when I'm alive rather than give it to her as a legacy. And the partner said, okay, this is part of your property. You can do whatever you like. You can gift it to your daughter. So he comes back to his daughter Elizabeth and he says, okay, done. This is yours. You can take it. So, but Elizabeth says, Dad, please understand that I have no money. I have no money to give you. You know that I don't have the money, this kind of money to give. Now, I want you to understand, it's recorded. I want you to understand that we are talking about 1943. In 1943, let's say in Mumbai, it was Paisano Jamano. Paisa was in Chalan. So we are talking about those days when in India, paisas were being used as currency. So in the West, this piece of land, this 500 acres, would have cost a few thousand American dollars. A few thousand American dollars in 1943, which was big money. So father says, you can have it. It's a gift from me. The father used this word, it's a gift from me, you can take it. So that's it. So Elizabeth receives this from her father, Simon, as a gift. And she in turn writes to Baba that, Baba, this place is yours. I give this place to you. This is a gift and it comes to you. And Baba writes back saying, I appreciate, I thank you. Very graceful of you, and I accepted it gracefully. So Baba accepts this place gracefully. Maybe a few months or a year passes by the time the documents are done and the place is initially in Elizabeth's name. Once it's in Elizabeth's name, it's around 1944, 1945. Almost the end of World War II. We are talking about a time when the World War II was raging. So now these two ladies, they entered this property. They are in touch with Mayor Baba. They are writing to Baba, Baba, we are starting work. And it is recorded that every step of the way, every stage, Elizabeth was in touch with Baba. She would write to Baba. They would write to Baba. Baba would write back to them. Baba would advise them, guide them. So this went on till the place comes into shape. Now, I want you to imagine in your mind's eye that this was a forest. This was a forest. This is a woodlands. This is a woodlands. Maybe some trails where a tractor or a four-wheel drive can go, barring that, nothing. Now, they have to first, if they have to develop this land, they have to first make tracks. They have to first make tracks for at least the vehicles to go. And before that, they had to, maybe on paper, they had to lay down, maybe from an artist's point of view, maybe from an architect's point of view, they have to lay down on this piece of land, parcel of land, as to where what can come. They have to plan. It can't be an haphazard thing. They have to plan as to what will fit where. Excuse me. So this is done, and they can't randomly cut the trees down. That was not the intent. So they have to be very specific about which area they have to clear to put whatever they want to put. The first thing that they had to do was naturally clear certain areas for things to come up. And one of the things that the first thing they did was to build a house for Baba. because they knew Baba would come there. So they had to put up a place for Baba called the Baba House. So they put up this Baba House. It's a reasonably large house. Then you need a meeting place. So you got to construct a meeting place. Got to construct a hall where Baba can give darshan, where a number of people can come. So you need a big place. And let's come to this big place now. It's very interesting. This big place, for big place, you need big quantity of wood. Now they had to look for wood. And in those days, being the World War time, wood was under ration. You cannot just buy any quantity of wood because it was under ration. Now you should ask me, they are in a forest, they are in the woods. So why would they have to buy wood if they are in a forest? And the answer is that they did not want to disturb the forest and just randomly cut the woods. So they would rather buy and get the wood from outside rather than ruin the place. Baba wanted to keep this place as it is. You need a lot of wood. So they read an advertisement, and advertisement said that a place at Conway, a large barn which was used as an animal barn, donkey's barn for sale. So they go there, the women go there, they see the place, and they go to Conway, which I think is the northeast. So maybe in New Hampshire, they see the place, they like the barn, the wood was good. But now, how do you transport this barn to Myrtle Beach, to South Carolina? So what they did was they used their head. Maybe they hired a professional, and what was done was each panel wood was marked, it was numbered, and then they dismantled the whole barn, they numbered it, and then on trucks, this wood was brought on trucks from Conway to Myrtle Beach and to this place. And this reminds me of Rowry Cabin. Just as Rowry Cabin was dismantled at Rowry, Baba said dismantle it and bring it back to Ahmednagar, Mehrabad. Similarly, this barn was torn down, brought down, numbered, and reenacted, reassembled at the center. So this is where you have, it's a rectangular shape. It is a big place where Baba has meetings, etc. There is what is called a meeting place where people can entertain others, where people can give talks and some fun, etc. So that is where talks are given, music is played, etc. That's the meeting place. Now I want to take you back to Myrtle Beach and try to emphasize the value of Myrtle Beach land. Now, Myrtle Beach as such, I'm talking about the town, it is called the Golfer's Paradise. It is called the Golfer's Paradise. It is also called the Makkah of golf. And it is said that there are more golf courses at Myrtle Beach than anywhere else on earth at one place. To give you an example, Greater Mumbai has 5 golf courses. Even today it has 5 golf courses. Myrtle Beach has or had or still has 120 18-hole golf courses. 18-hole means the largest golf courses. They are more than 100, maybe roughly 120. And there are equal number or maybe more smaller golf courses. So that is why all the Americans, when they retire, they come to Myrtle Beach and they make their house there, because what can you do after retirement? To play golf. So this is why this place is very, very pricey. This is why if Myrtle Beach is pricey, then you can imagine this property, which is very pricey. Now tell you about this property. There are two lakes also on this property. One lake is called the Large Lake, or earlier it was called the Star Lake, and there is a smaller lake called the uh, lake, where there are a lot of crocodiles. There are a lot of crocodiles there, which is very close to the gators, because there are a lot of alligators. Therefore, it's called the gators lake, and it is very close to the beach. Now, this lake that I'm talking about, this lake is 1 mile long. I repeat, this lake is 1 mile long and so many 100 meters or feet deep, depth-wise. So this is the large lake that you have. Then you have this Gators Lake, which is the other lake. And now let's come to the beach. Let's come to the beach. It is said that this landmass, that the beachfront at the beach is 1 mile long. 1 mile means 1.6 kilometers. 1.6 kilometers of the property land is on the beach. Now, 1.6 kilometers is very roughly to and fro Samadhi from MPR, almost that much. So you can imagine the size of the length of the beach front of this property. And therefore, you can imagine the value of this land. According to me, it must be costing a few $1 billion. I said $1 billion. When you come out on the beach, on either side you see tall 5-star hotels, tall condos, big hotels. So this is what attracts the Americans from all over the US. And therefore this property is worth the price of gold. Just as Mehrabad attracts the price of gold, similarly, this place attracts price of gold in the US. And it is a done thing that they are not going to give away not even 1 square mile of land to any builder. It is the done thing. This is Baba's house. This is Baba's property. It is going to remain as Baba's property. Now on the lake, there is what is called the boat house. Now I'll talk to you about the boat house on next Thursday when we go to the boat house. But just to tell you, there is a boat house. Then next to the boat house, there is what is called the original kitchen. I'll take you there the next Thursday. So that also will touch upon the next Thursday. Thereafter is the refractory once again. See why I'm saying next Thursday, because I have the slides, so that will make more sense if I tell you about it next Thursday. Now, the first time Baba went there was in 1952. In 1952, these few things were in place already. Baba went there in the month of May. He stayed at this place at Mayor Spiritual Center for 30 days. With him there were 11 of the Mandli, 4 of them, Mera, Mani, Dr. Goyer, and Meru. 4 of them were ladies. And I'll tell you where the ladies stayed. There's a place called a small lake. You all have seen a bridge, a wooden bridge on which Baba walks in the movies, and the men Mandli following Baba. There's a lake. There's a bridge on a small lake. So this is where you go on to the bridge. After you cross the bridge, there are steps going up. After you go up the steps, on the left is a small cabin called the log cabin. And if you go further up, there is what is called the guest house. And in this guest house, there are 2 cabins. The front cabin, the women Mandli stayed. The Indian women, the 4 of them stayed. There are 4 beds, and the 4 of them stayed there. And in the next cottage, one behind that, the Western ladies stayed. Now, this place, the guest house is not open to the men. Men cannot go this place because Meramai had stayed at this place. And after they stayed in 52, this guest house and the other was thrown open for those who knew Meramai, those who understood the significance, etc., of the place, who would understand this place, but never understand this place is thrown open, anyone and everyone. The women can stay at this place. Men are not allowed. My wife was allowed to go there and see the place. I was not allowed. So in short, men are not allowed to go and have a look at this place. So that is the guest house for you. As you enter the place, as you enter May Spiritual Center, on the right is kind of a cabin which is called the gateway. Now this is like our reception at MPR. So at the gateway you enter, you register yourself, and then you move forward. One volunteer is given to you. The volunteer takes you in the car. You can go only up to a certain point. Beyond that, you cannot go in the car. Then you have to walk through. Now, if the car goes to a point, the speed limit for this place is 5 miles per hour. I repeat, 5 miles per hour, which is 8 kilometers per hour. So you are literally crawling on this pathway, and no honking. This is an absolute silent zone, no honking. So you're not, see, Americans in itself, they don't honk. In the Western world, in the advanced world, nobody honks. But in this place, strictly, no honking. So you get down at the parking lot, and beyond that, you have to walk. You walk and go to your cabin, wherever your cabin is allotted. Now let's come to the cabins. During Baba's time and thereafter, there were cabins which were small cabins. Small cabins with the result that there was no kitchen facility there. Where we stayed in the log cabin, it was very small, and there was therefore no kitchen. So where do you cook? Now let me first take you to a parallel between MPR and May Spiritual Center for you to understand how things are so different between MPR and May Spiritual Center. At NPR, all of us live under one roof. Let's call it under one roof. Everything is under one roof. The men's side, the women's side, the reception, the payment counters, the kitchen, the dining room, the library, whatever you say, everything is in one place, just under one roof. Now, it's very different here, very different in the sense that everything that you see around is a standalone thing. It's a standalone thing. And the beauty is that if you're in your cottage, all around you, you only see a forest, a wooded place. You don't even see the next cabin or whatever. You just don't see anything. You literally don't see anything. The high rises that I talked to you about, which you can see from the beach, you see none of this. I don't know, the trees are so tall, you are kind of cocooned from the outside world. You don't see those high rises. You only see your cabin, and that's it, and the woods around you, and the trail or the pathway which takes you. So this is it. So everything is kind of standalone thing, separate. Now, therefore, if our cabin didn't have a kitchen, where do you go? So we went to what is called the original kitchen. Let me explain the original kitchen, but in details we'll go next Thursday. In the original kitchen, there are 3 A, B, and C parts. Let's call it parts. And the C part is the kitchen, where you can go and cook. In details next Thursday. But there are cabins which are built later on, and Hermitage and the others, where they are modern, they are much bigger, And in one unit, there are 2 units. In one cottage, you can call it. In one cottage, there are 2 units, and in one unit, one family can stay. In the other unit, the other family can stay. And in these units, there are self-contained kitchens. So you can cook in those kitchens, but otherwise you have to go to the original kitchen and cook. So that is as far as the cooking is concerned. So give me a minute, please. Yeah, this Baba house that I told you where Baba stays is also called Meher Abode. But now people don't use it, don't call it Meher Abode, they call it Baba to make it simple. Now, outside this Baba, that is Baba house, is a, is a near cabin and far cabin. The point is with Baba, one of the Mandlis stayed, whoever was, one of the Mandlis stayed with Baba, and the other man Mandli, they stayed in either near cabin or the far cabin. So the point is that near cabin is rather so close that if someone clapped, the one who was in the near cabin responded immediately, came over to Baba house, and if Baba wanted something, they would organize and get it. So therefore, they are called near cabin and far cabin. This is where the man Mandli stayed. Now let's go to 1952 trip. In 1952, Baba did the official inauguration of this place. And in 52, as we saw in the movies, Baba is walking around wherever he went, everywhere he went, he walked. He walked even to the ocean. Now let me tell you about the access to the ocean. It's very interesting that though there is 1 mile long beach access, there is only a small neck that can take you to the beach. Otherwise, there's lake and etc. So what is accessible is only through this narrow neck. So Baba went on the beach. We also Baba collecting shells on the beach, etc. So you can have a walk on the beach. So this is the pathway and what I view. Yeah. So we are talking about 1952. Baba went on the beach. He walked everywhere. He stayed there for 1 month, as I told you. Now from here, Baba was going to the west coast. He was going to Mare Mount. Mare Mount is a center on the west coast in California. And we all know that Baba met with an accident halfway through, and Baba couldn't go to the west coast, and he comes back, he recuperates, etc. So this is 30 days stay, and Baba gave interview to many either individuals or families or groups at the meeting place. Sorry, not meeting place. Sorry. So this is what Baba did all throughout. In the mornings, Baba would go to the guest house where the women stayed. He would have his breakfast and meals over there. So that is where he would go during the day. So this is where he went for his meals. Let's come to 1956. During the 56 stay, he was there only for 6 days. Only for 6 days, then he was proceeding to the west. Now, if you see Baba during this trip in 1956, it says that at this time, maybe the official documents took place. Baba was handed over the documents as a gift to him, which happened in 1956. And if you see Baba in 1956 during this trip, Baba never walked. He was always on the chair, or if he was driven around, he was driven around in the car. He could never walk. So you will always see him on the chair, lifted on the chair, and Baba went about. So this is 1956. And in 56, he did go to Mare Mount. So what he had promised he would go to the west, he kind of fulfilled that in 1956. For the third time, Baba went in 1958, This time he stayed for 11 days. And during this trip, Baba told the near ones that I'm not going to come again. When Baba said, I'm not going to come again, Elizabeth and the others said that, Baba, who do we admit here? Who do we keep here? And Baba said this in 52, that of all the places that I've stayed, this is the best place I like. This is the best place I like. This is my home. This is my home in the West, and I never leave. So in 58 also, when he was living, Baba also mentioned that I'd never leave. I will always be here. And Baba said, preserve this place for 700 years when I come next. And that is why you see this place. Now, I'll give you an example of what I mean. I saw quite a number of trees that had fallen down. And I asked them, why don't you clear this rubbish? The trees have fallen down. Why can't you straighten up this place? And they said that, no, Jimmy, these things will remain as they are. They will possibly decay, but we will keep this place as it is. We are not going to touch. So even if the trees have fallen, they'll leave the trees as it. So Baba said, after 700 years, I'll come back. So leave the place as it is. And Baba said that this place will be housed by, when he was asked that, Baba, who will come here? Who do we admit? So they said that, Baba said that my lovers will come here. They'll come here for rest, for meditation, for recovering their health, etc. And my lovers will come, and they will come to know more about me. So they will be the ones who will be coming here. So that was the last time Baba went to Mir Spiritual Center. Sam, do I have some time? Sam? Okay. I'll talk to you about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'll talk to you about. I said that there is a lake, and on that lake there is a gondola. I repeat, at the boathouse on the right side there is a wooden shade in the lake, and under that wooden shade there was rather a gondola. Now you'll ask me, gondola is something which is Venetian. How can gondola land up in Myrtle Beach at the center? And the story goes that in those years, in the early years after the war, there was a World Trade Fair. I repeat, there was a World Trade Fair. And at the World Trade Fair, all the countries take part. They have their pavilions, huge pavilions. And there was this Italian pavilion. And to make it look very real, lifelike, the Italians brought a gondola, a real, genuine gondola, from Venice to the US, to Myrtle Beach, at the place wherever the trade fair took place. They may have made a water body and kept the gondola there. So after this world trade was over, after the fair was over, what do you do with the gondola? You can't take it back to Venice. So it was for auction. And the ladies bought the gondola because they had a large lake called the Long Lake, called the Star Lake, whatever. So they thought it would be a good idea to bring the gondola and put it there. So, so the gondola was there, and when we were told, and there is also a rowboat, and during Baba's time, this gondola was there. I'm not too sure of gondola. It must have been, but the rowboat was definitely there. And Baba encouraged these 4 ladies, women from the Women Monthly, to go on rowing. So some Westerners, they took them into the lake for a spin, for a rowing. And Baba said that you teach my ladies, they were called the girls, to teach the girls how to row. And then Baba said, now you go alone on your own. So these girls, they went on their own into the lake. So that is the rowboat. Now gondola has been taken out. A rowboat has also been taken out at the moment. because gondola, I presume it needs repair, reconstruction. So gondola, you don't see the gondola on the lake. You don't see the rowboat also on the lake, because presently, if you go, the lake is under repairs. In the sense, on the lake, the weeds grow. They call algae. I don't know why they call algae. Some kind of weeds, they grow on this lake. They are kind of overtaking the whole lake. And it is said that some kind of mineral falls out from the lake, from within the lake. And because of this, some foul mineral, that this algae, they call it algae, that springs up. You'll see exactly what I mean next Thursday, because I do have photographs and I'll show it to you as to what I mean. So this algae is kind of wild, it's growing. So presently they have cordoned up the lake. Nobody can go into the lake. No, there's no swimming allowed. Let me be very clear. In this lake, no swimming is allowed because there are alligators. Because there are alligators, no swimming is allowed. Today, no rowing is allowed because they are cleaning and clearing up this algae mess. So that is that. Some can I go for questions if there are questions? Sam. Hello.
Please do.
No, if there are questions, I would like to take questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any-
Hello, hello. I have already sent one statement for you, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Can you read it?
No, I can't.
Hello?
Will you read it out? Will you read it out?
Okay. I hope I can get it.
Is it in the chat?
Yeah, it is in the chat.
I don't.
I'll just open the chat and let you know.
Okay, okay. In the
I'm Aban Patel. Huh?
Okay, Aban, okay.
First, I have said Jai Baba to all Baba lovers.
Thank you, Jai Baba.
And then I have said, Jimmy, you have given us a good tour of Myrtle Beach Center.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jai Baba.
Yeah. Since Aban is finding her chat, this place was called, it has woodlands. This place has woodlands. It has wetlands. It has marshes and it has lakes. So you can imagine what the place is like.
Yes. We have to be satisfied with imagination only because I don't know now whether we will be able to go.
Aban, I'm sorry, but I don't agree with you. Where there is a will, there is a way. You can go. See, we Indians have this mental block. We have this mental block. I can't go.
No, not that way. But you see, હવે કરે એરોપ્લેન માં બેસું તે વિચાર કરીએ છીએ.
It is said,
Acha, Jimmy for Myrtle Beach also he had said that he will come after 700 years.
Someone's talking at the back. No. Let me clarify. Baba did not say that after 700 years I will come back to Myrtle Beach. No, he didn't say that. But maybe in a lighter vein, Baba said that I'll come back after 700 years, keep this place as it is for me. He used the word for me for 700 years. Effectively, what Baba meant was keep it as it is. Keep it as
But he had said this for California, that center, Sufi center, which was built. At that time, he had said when that lady Mushrida had come to Baba, and he said, Baba, come over to this center. So he said, I will come after 700 years. And then California being earthquake prone, they were all sitting together and they did a lot of brain checking, and ultimately that new center came up. This is what Gadekar had said in his speech at Bombay Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He did say, I'm not sure if he said he would come, but he said, he'll come after 700 years. So
Yes,
what they did, what the Sufism Reoriented Center did, they have a very rich guy, who owns a cheesecake factory in US. So he gave a
yes.
lot of money. So they built the structure, which is
Which is
majority of is underground. There is a one or two stories which is above ground.
on no on the
They
ground there is only one building.
one
Two
every
buildings, do two
not
stairs down
building.
below.
It's yeah, it's down below. They said they have designed it to last for 700 plus years.
Because
So
earthquake never goes
because
under the earth. He flattens only what is on the earth. So they have built this type of building, which
actually
will.
that's not true. What you just said is not true. So but anyway, that's besides the point. But they did design it to last for 700 plus years.
Okay.
So
Uh,
it's in a place called Walnut Creek, and you can't arbitrarily go in. You need to take a special permission to go visit the place. Yeah,
May I know who's speaking?
this is Ram Nori,
Ram, it's Ram.
Okay, okay.
ex Californian. So
Okay, let me come.
Oh, very good, very good. So
Let me
you
come.
gave us a good idea.
Hello, let me come in, please. Let me come
Yeah.
in. Baba, yeah, am I on? Yeah.
Yes.
Baba had said that there will be 5 centers of mind in USA. I should have said that very first line, but I forgot. Baba said there will be 5 centers of mind in the USA. And in 52, when Baba was going to the West Coast, he was going to a place called Mare Mount. Mare Mount, which he did go in 1956. So Mare Mount is a huge place. In US, everything is huge. So Mare Mount is a huge place. It is on almost on top of a hill with n number of acres. And so he did go there in 1956. But in the US, there's another place right way up in north of California, way up. It's called Mariposa Center at Marana. The name of the place is Marana at Mariposa, and it is at Sierra Nevada. Those who know the geography of US, the furthest point on northwest, in California, the furthest point in northwest is Sierra Nevada. So it is, you can say almost it is at Sierra Nevada. Now, we will not know, at least today, we will not know whether which will be 5 centers. Myrtle Beach, of course, is going to be one of the 5 centers. Marymount is definitely going to be one of the 5 centers because Baba has visited the place. Otherwise, he wouldn't have gone. My judgment says that if Baba did not have this place in mind, he would not have gone from East Coast to West Coast, traveling maybe 6,000 miles. And in 56, Baba went by car. The logic being, this 11 of his Mandli and some Westerners, they went by car because they found that traveling by air would have been very pricey. Air ticket coast to coast would have been very pricey, though, so they went by car. I don't know how many number of cars went, but it is recorded that they traveled by car. Now, what intrigues me is Ram or someone can tell me, or Cyrus, if Cyrus is around. What intrigues me is in 56, in 56, in 52, Baba met with the in 52, Baba met with the accident, but in 52, he was walking fine at the center. In 56, when he came 4 years hence, after 4 years, he was not able to walk. After 4 years, he was not able to walk. He was taken on chair. He was driven around. But in 56, in November 56, Baba met with an accident at Toka. No, sorry, not Toka. At
Satara.
Satara, outside of Nasik.
Yeah.
Uttara. So,
Yeah.
so within 1.5 years, Baba goes back. I repeat, within 1.5 years, Baba goes back to the West. He goes back to the US. But in 1.5 years, we see Baba though limping, He's walking everywhere with either Mirji's hand or Adi's hand or whoever's hand, Baba's holding someone's hand. But Baba is walking. So how come after 4 years Baba was not able to walk, but after 1.5 years Baba was able to walk? Can someone? It will be a guesswork. I know there can be no answer. It is going to be a guesswork.
I can't guess anything about the Lord. I mean, so
Forget it. In 52, this is very poignant, this is very relevant. In 52, Iraj Jasawala was not there. He said, Baba, I'm tired and fed up. This new life has taken a toll of me. I'm not going to travel with you. I'm not coming. Baba said, you are coming. And Iraj persisted, Baba, I'm not coming. I cannot come. Instead of me looking after you, you will look after me. I will be a burden to you. Please excuse me. I will not come. And you know that then Baba sent Pendu and Iraj on a tour of North India, telling everyone who Meher Baba was, what he stood for, what his discourses were, etc., etc. So in 52, Iraj did not go. And Iraj regretted this maybe till the end of his life, because Baba met with an accident. When Baba met with an accident in 52, Iraj wasn't there. Iraj was, when Baba needed him the most, Baba told him that I'll need you, you come. And for once, Iraj persisted, Baba, forgive me, I will break down. I will now break down. Forgive me, don't take me. And he regretted that till the end of his days, because he wasn't around to look after Baba. And the others were there, the other seniors were there, but he wasn't there. But in 56 and 58, he did go. So there's a, any question? Do we have time for questions?
Yes, go ahead. Anybody can ask questions now.
Dinku wanted to ask.
Go ahead.
Hi, thank you for a very, very interesting talk and tour of Myrtle Beach.
More to come, more to come.
Wait, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, Dinku, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to ask, is there no segregation of men and women at Myrtle Beach? Because you said the families all stay in
Thank you. God bless you, Baba bless you, Dinku. I forgot this point. Let's come back to MPR. Dinku, thank you so much. Please, if you have doubts. Now, Dinku had this doubt. She asked me, please, for God's sake, ask me. This is the only time to ask. And maybe next Thursday as well. Yes, Dinku, you are right. Unlike in India, we stayed first at the Pilgrim Center. Those who have seen Pilgrim Center, you may not have stayed there, but those who have stayed Pilgrim Center, there was this right wing and there was this left wing. On the right wing, the men stayed. On the left wing, the women stayed. 56 bed in all, 28 on either side. Coming to MPR, once again, 200 beds. I can't call it right wing and the left wing, the men's wing and the women's wing. In the men's wing, only men go. In the left wing, only women stay. And when I take tours, I make it very plain, very simple in the bus itself. Men will not enter the women's wing. That's it. Though the reception allows you, I say those who come with me will not go in the women's wing. That's it. So, unlike India, Rinku, in the West, the families are allowed. The families are allowed. If there's a couple, the couple is allowed in a unit. If the family is allowed in a unit. So yes, the answer is yes. The family, men and women, can stay together. But let me remind you, when you go there, please trust me, they are very strict. Well, suppose you write, Aban, if you want to write and say that we want to come, and you will have to give names, you will have to say who you are, and are you coming for a cheap vacation in the US, or are you Baba lovers? They'll ask for your full CV, your spiritual CV, Are you Baba lovers or are you just faking it? Who talk to you about Baba? Who are you? What are you? In India, if you're from in India, where have you gone? They'll screen you. They'll screen you. And if they find that you are not a couple, please listen to me. If they find that you are not a couple and you are coming for a fling, let me use this language. If you're coming for a fling, this is not the place for a fling. So they will screen you. They'll screen you top to bottom that you are a couple, you are a married couple, and you are a genuine family. So yes, does that answer, Dinko?
Yes, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to add that, it's not that they would put, single men and women together. There are separate cabins for, single women. So where single women, can stay, and similarly for men.
Same for men.
Yeah, and they do have cabins, with kitchen facilities. A large family comes.
Yeah, very true.
So that way you don't have to go to either original kitchen or refractory.
If they're in one of the newer cabins, newer cabin, there are names I'll read out to you later. The newer cabins are big, and they are, and for one cabin they use the term Taj Mahal. They use the word Taj Mahal because they are relatively fancy. Let me put it, they are relatively fancy. There is kitchen also, self-sustaining kitchen. We fortunately stayed in both. We stayed in the log cabin also, and one night we stayed in one of those Taj Mahal also. So that's it.
And in the kitchen facilities, so what they do, once you go there, you're given a small piece of area to keep your grocery supplies, and you also get a cabin where you can put your dry food.
Ram.
Yeah, you're going to do it tomorrow.
Please.
Next week.
Hold your horses. Next Thursday.
Okay.
You're letting it out.
I'm so sorry, Jimmy. I didn't want to take the thunder away from you. So sorry about it.
Jimmy uncle?
Yes.
I'm Parinaz. Can I share an important fact about why Elizabeth bought the barn in particular is what Buzz shared with me?
Please, darling, go ahead. Please.
So the barn, like you explained, was for holding large gatherings when Baba was there.
Absolutely.
And like the Mandli and other members who were close to Baba were given duties when these large gatherings were to be held. So the reason Elizabeth selected this particular barn is because there were no columns or pillars. So no matter where Baba placed her in the barn, she could just glance towards Baba and there would be nothing blocking her view of Baba's face. And that is the main reason she selected this particular barn.
Absolutely, Pari. Absolutely. Thank you so much. This is a rectangular shape structure. And as Pari said, there's nothing in between. So the view is absolute. Thank you, Pari. Thank you. Any more comments, Pari, please? Any more comments, please go ahead.
Yes, also that the lagoon cabin is where Baba held individual interviews. Just like the barn was for group gatherings, the lagoon cabin was for individual interviews. And the lagoon cabin is very close to the original kitchen and the boathouse. And I'm sure you will show pictures of those as well.
Thank you, Pari. I was mentally looking for the name of lagoon cabin. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We will come to lagoon cabin when we come next Thursday. We will. Yeah, go ahead.
Another rule that when we enter the center, they request us not to have talks pertaining to politics. And they even specify that if two people do indulge in political talks, a third person can interrupt them and remind them that Baba doesn't want us to indulge in political talks.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Jimmy, but I just have to leave for a very urgent call. So could you please end the meeting whenever you feel like it? Thank you and excuse me.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, Pari. Pare, hello.
Hello, yes, Jai Baba.
Yeah, please, you've been there. You've been there. Please share some more thoughts about your visit, please. Ram, can you come in? Ram, you can also come in. You have been there.
Yeah, many
Yeah,
times.
and
Yeah.
another thing was that one of the other reasons Norina and Elizabeth selected, thought it was the ideal property that Baba was looking out for, was because at a certain point in the property, when they stood over there and they were overlooking the sunset, the lake merged into the sea. And it was a very, very beautiful scene. And that particular spot is called the Discovery Point. Like, that is where Elizabeth and Norina discovered that this is the place that Baba was referring to when he specified his instructions.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yes, Ram, come in.
Yeah, what else to say? Pari said quite a bit, and you said quite a bit. So, no, it's a very huge place, and there are, as Pari said, there are lots of rules and restrictions. When you come in, and there are many gates. It's you first you come into the gate, then there's another gate. In between, then you have the gate where you have to go register. They just don't arbitrarily allow people. So and the next lot of things, the details you said, leave it to the next week, and how it functions, how it works. When someone's a pilgrim goes, what is it they need to do, that you're going to cover next week anyway. So
Okay. I would like anyone else who has been to this May Spiritual Center. Is there anyone else? Please, I would like you to come in and share your thoughts if you have any.
May I ask a question, please?
Yes, your name?
Jai Baba, Jimmy Uncle, Dilshad Kapadia.
Oh, sorry, Dilshad. Go ahead, please, go ahead.
Very good to see you and hear you after a very long time.
Thank you.
Jimmy Uncle, who manages the property just now? As in, is it under some Baba's trust or whatever? That would be of interest.
Yeah.
And second thing, you often refer to them female Mandli as 4 people or some such thing. So who were the female Mandli members? If you may please throw some light on that. Thank you.
Yeah. See, as at Ahmednagar, as at Mehrabad, we have this trust called Avatar May Baba Perpetual Public Charitable Trust, right? Over there at the Mayor Spiritual Center, it is called Mayor Spiritual Center Incorporation. It is a trust, but in the West, they don't use the word trust. They use the word incorporation. That means it's an incorporated entity, and the whole property is not in anybody's name. Now, this is very relevant. I thank you so much for asking this question, because it's relevant for everybody. As it is trust in Mehrabad Trust or Nagat or whatever we call it, over there it is an incorporated body. So it is in perpetuity in that sense. Nobody owns it. Nobody owns it. And you said who runs the show. The way we have trustees here, we call them trustees. Over there, they call directors. Over there, they call directors. And Buzz Connors is the executive director. Executive director means he is the karta. He's a kind of a karta. He's on the property. He's the only one. He's the only one other than the one who looks after the property, the guard, the security guard. Other than that, Buzz and Wendy, they live on the property. They are the only couple who live on the property, because he is the executive director, non-voting director. On the board, there are 10 members on the board. One of them is the president. The others are directors. Bruce is the treasurer, and the others are directors, but he is the executive director. So they are called directors.
So it is how it is managing trustee in India, that kind of thing?
That is exactly. That is.
But incorporated is in India is strictly corporate world, not the.
Yeah, it's a corporate thing. No, but if you call it trust, the trust can be incorporated. You know, we have registered, we use the word registered. Instead of registered trust, they use incorporate. So it is in the name of incorporate. Good question.
Thank you so much. And the women monthly, if you can
Yes,
please.
yes, sorry. The women who went with Baba, as I said earlier, 11 of the monthly went with Baba. Of this 11, 4 were women, Mera, Mani, Dr. Goher, and Meru. Incidentally, they were the same women who went on the new life, only 4. And the same women went during 52 Sahahvas, 52, the first, and this is where they stayed at the gateway. So these 4 women.
So Elizabeth and Norina were not in the same.
No, 1 second. Your question was about the Indian women monthly. So of the Indian women who went there with Baba and 7 men, those 4 were Mera, Mani, Dr. Goher, and Meru. Of course, Elizabeth was there. They received Baba, etc.
Thank you.
Yeah, Elizabeth went to New York. Elizabeth went to New York to receive Baba because Baba landed at New York, and from New York they were driven to Myrtle Beach. But Norina was unwell; she was indisposed. So Norina received Baba at the center. So she received him at the center.
Appreciate your patience. Thank you so much, Jimmy
My
Uncle.
pleasure. My pleasure. Anyone else has question? Okay, I think we can wind up over here, and we will love to see you next Thursday. Okay, Jai Mer Baba. Thank you so much.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you.
Well, Baba.